I'm happy to talk with you today about a concept that I've written about called Fawns and Guerilla Suits. And I've got my friend Mr. Guerilla here to help me with this. But the kids I work with often have this vulnerable, what I call core self, that they need to protect. And to protect it, they often put on the Guerilla Suit. To keep people at a distance. So a lot of the aggressive behavior that we sometimes see in children is their attempt to protect that vulnerable core self. So that's when they put on the Guerilla Suit, and the aggression is meant to keep people at a distance. Now, I found that in time you can get close to them and connect to that vulnerable part of their self and begin to help heal that hurt part. So I love working with these kids because the Guerilla Suit represents that spirit, that fighting spirit that they have. So it's meant to scare people, intimidate people, keep people at a distance. But it's not that hard to get past that and to realize that there's a hurting child, sometimes a traumatized child inside, that fawn that needs to be carefully protected. So I love working with those kids because of their spirit. They haven't given up. They have a fighting spirit inside that makes them still trying to master their world. Now this is related to the topic of resilience, because a lot of these kids have overcome very difficult situations in their lives. But a lot of these kids, particularly as they go through life, are able to find their place. And the longitudinal studies, the studies that follow kids for 30 to 40 years of their life, have shown that even these kids that are most at risk, who've experienced a tremendous amount of trauma, by the third or fourth decade of life at least, they often get their lives together. Sometimes it's because they marry someone who's a very secure person and can help them, give them an anchor in life to stabilize their lives. But the results are not as pessimistic as most people think. So there's always hope when you're working with kids, and to respect that other side of the coin, their resilience, their ability to overcome difficult situations. I've been inspired by so many kids throughout my career, almost 50 years. Kids that have faced things that most of us will never have to face. And yet they have some really wonderful qualities. When you really get to know them, they can have some very beautiful, wonderful, generous, loving qualities.